In the heart of 19th century New Orleans, a city drenched in jazz, whispers, and the lingering shadows of slavery, there lived a woman whose name the world tried to bury, Violet. A kitchen slave known for her quiet demeanor and skill with spices, yet her story was far more than one of servitude. It was one of vengeance, resilience, and a dark twist that blurred the lines between justice and sin. For Violet was no ordinary woman forced behind the stove. She was a silent observer of cruelty, an unwilling witness of the power her master wielded over bodies and lives. And while most accepted their chains, Violet simmered inside like the iron pots she stirred, her silence a mask, her obedience a weapon, her eyes burning with thoughts no one dared to imagine. They say the kitchen is the heart of the house, but in Violet's case, the kitchen became her battlefield, a place where she carefully studied herbs, roots, and powders, learning not only to season food, but also to turn nourishment into poison. Imagine her standing by the flickering fire, crushing seeds with deliberate care, while overhead the laughter of her master and his guests echoed, oblivious to the storm brewing beneath their feet. Do you think vengeance can be served as a meal? Or is it too cruel to poison those who feed from your hand? The turning point came when Violet's master, a wealthy landowner admired in public but feared in private, struck her one evening, humiliating her in front of the household, and something broke inside her. From that night, every chop of the knife, every stir of the ladle carried purpose. She began small, her poison subtle. A pinch slipped into a drink, a touch dusted across bread. And when the first guest fell ill, no one suspected the quiet girl in the kitchen. After all, who would imagine a slave plotting revenge in plain sight? Yet whispers began, deaths followed, and a strange sickness clung to those who dined in the grand New Orleans home. Was it bad luck? A plague? Or was Violet rewriting her own story with every carefully served dish? Historians argue about her motives. Was she protecting herself, sending a message to her oppressors, or simply consumed by rage that had no outlet? Psychologists today call it poisonous agency, where the powerless sees the only power available to them, even if it's in the shadows. But here's a question. If you were Violet, would you have done the same? Would you risk damnation for a taste of revenge, or endure in silence like so many others? The truth is, Violet's legacy lingers because it unsettles us. She wasn't a hero we want, nor the villain we expect. She was a woman trapped by circumstance who dared to bend fate, even if it meant staining her own soul. The newspapers of the time painted her as a monster, yet in the whispered stories of the quarters, she was remembered as a symbol of defiance, proof that even the most oppressed could strike back. And here's where the story twists. Some accounts claim Violet disappeared after the deaths, her body never found, while others insist she was caught and executed, yet no records exist to confirm either. Instead, her name drifts like a ghost through New Orleans folklore tied to kitchens, poison, and the unsettling question of whether justice and murder can sometimes wear the same mask. Even today, in the old streets of New Orleans, there are tales of a woman's shadow seen in historic homes. Her presence felt near the kitchens, her vengeance eternal. Tourists seek the haunted stories, but locals know that Violet's tale is not just a ghost story. It's a reflection of history's darkest truths, where the oppressed carved out their justice in ways the world could not stomach. So, what do you think? Was Violet a murderer, or was she a warrior who used the only weapon she had? Would you call her evil, or would you dare to call her free? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if this story gripped you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because there are countless more hidden histories waiting to be uncovered, stories of vengeance, silence, and survival that the world wanted forgotten. But here, we bring them back to life.